Hello everyone! In this video, I will be showing you how to create DIY t-shirt yarn. And if you want to check out more DIYs, courses, and patterns, make sure to head to the website at cactusladycreation.com. Welcome back to my channel. To create our DIY t-shirt yarn, we will need an old t-shirt, sharp scissors, and our hands. I am using a really worn out t-shirt that has holes in it and is really faded and is a cotton jersey shirt, so feel free to use whatever you have on hand. First, stretch out the shirt and we will make a horizontal cut along the shirt, cutting off everything from the sleeves and up. Now we have the bottom of the shirt, and next we will just trim off this bottom seam. Now I will show you how to trim this part of the shirt to make a continuous strand. First, fold the shirt horizontally so that the fold is facing you and that there is about 1.5 inches of space between the two edges of the shirt. Then we will cut horizontal lines along the fold that are whatever thickness you want the yarn to be. I cut each about 1/2 inch wide, but no thinner because this fabric is really stretchy. Continue making those cuts all the way down the shirt, leaving about 1 inch of space between the edge of the shirt and your cuts. You can also measure and mark where you'd like to cut with the ruler and pencil, or feel free to just eye it like me. Now our shirt has all of these cuts, and we will just turn this into one continuous strand. So this is where the yarn strand will begin, and then we will make a lot of diagonal cuts along the fabric, connecting each of these strands together, and I will stretch out the fabric to make it easier to show you this process. In the middle, we can see a column that we will cut along to connect each strand. So first, cut this beginning strand, then cut a series of diagonal lines to connect each strand along this middle column. And as you go, you can also cut any jagged edges you may have to make your yarn smoother. Once you get to the end, connect those last two strands and you will have one continuous strand of yarn from this bottom part of the shirt. And you can place that to the side for now. Now let's move on to this top part. First, we will cut off the sleeves and place them to the side. Now we are left with this middle section of the shirt, and we will cut off the collar. If you unfold the fabric, that middle section should look something like this. To cut, we will fold that section back the way it was and then fold it again horizontally so that the fold is facing you. Now we will cut horizontal lines along that fold that are the same size and leave about an inch of space between the edge of the fabric and the cuts. Now unfold the fabric and lay it flat, and it should look something like this. Now we will make a series of cuts connecting each strand together. To do this, we will start on one side and cut along the edge until that first strand begins. Then go up to the top of the fabric and we will make sure that these next two strands stay connected. Continue cutting from the left side of those two strands to the edge of the fabric. Then go back to the bottom of the fabric and cut again from the edge of the fabric and to the left of those two strands. Continue cutting in this pattern all along the shirt and cut any jagged edges as you want to smooth out the yarn. When you get to the middle hole of the shirt, cut a diagonal line from that last strand to the next one. And you can clean it up at this point, cutting any excess fabric and place it to the side. Don't forget you can keep those scraps for other projects, and I'll be sharing more smaller scrap projects in future videos, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss those. Continue cutting in the same pattern with the rest of the fabric. And you can also cut off any side seams in your fabric to keep the yarn smooth and consistent. Once you cut all of the fabric, you can also neaten up the yarn and get rid of any jagged edges by simply rounding off those edges, connecting each of the strands, and cutting excess fabric away. Now I will show you how to cut the sleeves. Simply lay it flat and fold the bottom side up to meet the top, leaving a bit of space at the top of roughly 1.5 inches. Then make cuts along that folded sleeve, leaving about 1 inch between the edge of the fabric and each cut. Now we have that middle section column again, just like with the body of the shirt, and we will cut again in the same way as we did with that, connecting each of the strands of the sleeve together. Once you get to the end of the sleeve, it might look something like this. So to keep this section connected, we will simply follow the fabric, making cuts to keep those strands of fabric connected and cutting away any excess fabric and jagged edges. Then cut the other sleeve in the same way, and you can cut any seams or rough edges that you don't want away from the shirt. Now that we have all of our fabric all cut, we just need to connect the different separate bits to make one strand of yarn. And to do this, simply tie them together with 2 regular knots. And with the way that we cut our fabric, you don't have to tie too many of these sections together, only those 4 different sections of the shirt. Then simply roll it up into a ball, and if you have a yarn winder, you can also use that to roll it up nicely. And there you have it, easy DIY t-shirt yarn. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a like and comment with what you would like to make with this yarn. I'm thinking of doing a rag rug with mine. Also, subscribe to this channel for more upcycle crafts as I post each week. Thank you for watching and see you next time.